Hi everybody, it's May 8th, 2025, and I have a testimony to read. And this is from a targeted female, and it's actually in response to one of my recent videos on phone surveillance and real estate mobbing. She's going to provide me with two testimonies. This one is about the telephone surveillance. So here we go. I'll try to make it brief, but you know me, I like detail, so I'll give lots of it regarding this stuff. The phone. Boy, oh boy, the cell phones and landlines. The first one goes way back. The first one I'll mention is when we had a landline all the way back in 1999 when we bought our first house. You know, the twin that was attached to the Warlock motorcycle gang. The meth cook busted by the FBI and his daughter at age 18? Yeah, that one. Our phone number given by Verizon was 215-XXXXX-3912. Verizon just doesn't give your smack dab attached twin house neighbor the exact number, but with the last four digits in reverse. But they did. I should say the ones who can manipulate things for gain did. Hence, making their phone number 215-XXXXX-2193, which is the reverse of her phone number. It was registered around 2003, maybe before, don't know, don't care. Their proof makes life easier. It was registered to the Danielle, the surrogate to the meth cook who was busted by the FBI. Not the meth cook himself, but to his girlfriend, who he mentioned to us that he knocked up. No, he didn't, LOL. He bragged about his vasectomy that he had over 29 years ago. That seal doesn't just break at 20 plus years. If it's going to happen, it'll happen shortly after surgery. Anyway, what a better way to memorize not only the number to get methamphetamine from the cook himself, but also to know it's the target's phone number also, only with ours, the target's being the last four digits reversed. Again, us is 3912 and them is 2193. All the other numbers were exactly the same in their order. We had the same numbers, all digits the same. Wow, genius. Drugs in the target. A twofer. This scam, it served them well. Example 2. I call my dad. He doesn't answer his calls until hearing who's on the phone. He blocks spam calls. That's just my dad for you. This is a landline as well. I do the same thing, by the way. So one day I call him. He doesn't answer, but I leave him a voicemail. He calls me back and says, quote, "I'm sorry I didn't answer. Did you get a new phone number or something?" I said, "No. Why?" Dad says, "The weirdest thing just happened. As you were leaving your voicemail, it had come in from an unknown number to him. That's why I didn't answer it. It was a 610 area code." "Me?" I said. "Ooh, can you still see that number on your caller ID? I'd like to know what it is." Dad says, "Sure, let me call you back. I have to get the number off the phone." He didn't want to lose the number by trying to access it while speaking to me. So Dad calls me back and gives me the number. I thank him for giving me the number. We talk and then hang up. I then call the number. The guy is frazzled and talks so fast. It was obvious they were too slow in their quote-unquote spin on rerouting the lines when I called my dad that day. The number came through as opposed to doing it criminally properly, running it through to show mine as mine while connected to another number. The guy who answers says, "Hello." I said something to acknowledge the reroute, and he said angrily, I don't know what you're talking about. This is Penn Dot, Pennndot. What, LOL? Pennsylvania Department of Transportation? What a bullshit lie. I called the number again and it was disconnected. I looked the phone number up and it was registered to, quote unquote, a person. I actually had the same thing happen to me when trying to contact my stepfather. Exactly the same. I would call him and call him. He wondered why I wasn't calling him. Somebody was intercepting my calls to him after my mother passed away. Isn't that disgusting? I mean, he's like an 86-year-old man, and they won't put my calls through to my 86-year-old stepfather. The guy who went, okay, let me see. Example number 2, attached house once again. The date is 2018-ish. Would have to look up the obituary for an exact date, but that's close enough. The house attached was absolutely a quote-unquote safe house. Not a one paid rent. Mind you, the quote-unquote warlocks owns my side before I bought it. The attached side they owned, the mummy, M-U-M-M-Y, lived across the street, etc. This will lead to real estate mobbing, but let's get this phone surveillance bullshit done first. From 2016 to 2022, lived the Gallaghers. They paid no rent, knew the landlord, and when moving a tiny, tiny bit of items said, yeah, Scott's older brother said we could live here free until we retired. What? You'll have it upside down and backwards as to their ages and relationships for years now. So they admit the quote-unquote free. They're from Massachusetts, and they are gross. They stuck out like a sore thumb in Bucks County, PA, an uppity area of PA. Anyway, they're there for the remainder of the time we are. They move out a little bit before we moved down south. When they moved out, in moved a Lockheed Martin contractor. Go figure. So this Teresa, her brother is a veteran, quote unquote. Hate that word because these ones are filled with treason. Her only brother was suicidal, and she knew it. He'd asked her for help. Shit. I looked at their Facebook pages. If they didn't shut them down and lock them after seeing I was on their pages, why not? They're watching everything regarding me and my family, along with military-grade weapons. So yeah, I knew who the enemy is. So one post Teresa makes her Facebook page for all to see, to show the onlookers that she's a great sister. She posted, quote, JJ, call your sister. I'm worried. What? He's suicidal. You can't call him. Heck, he's only in Massachusetts. You can't go and see him? He wants to unalive himself, you effing bitch. He has 10 kids and grandkids, you asshole. Nope. She was way too busy working, as in surveilling me, talking through my phone, my Alexa, driving scumbags to the house attached to mine who would exit the Tiara Edition Chevy van that had mini split blinds on it, dirty ass pigs, and in a wheelchair, mind you, saying, as he rubbed his hands, gray scaly hands together, quote, I want to go up to the attic to watch. With a gross perverted smile on his dirty food-ridden beard, or methamphetamine-ridden, or the other, he was a mess. Gross, disgusting, in a diaper and ready to tickle tickle his Twinkie. Looking at either me or my husband. Probably my husband. Just my gut feeling on that pig. All this was said after Teresa asked him where he'd like to, quote unquote, view us. Okay, that was cute. I didn't read this first. I'm reading it for the first time. Oh, okay. So she's so busy with bringing pigs in from the nursing home she supposedly worked at and the rest of the dirtbags that enter that safe house that I was much more important and getting to keep her housing by working this pathetic manner. That her suicidal brother was the last thing on her mind. Next thing I know, he's DEAD. Unalived. JJ, the quote-unquote veteran, finally offed himself. After seeing a fake obituary they put online, they saw that I saw all the names relating to this man with 10 kids were ass backwards. Then the real obituary shows up. On there, they ask, quote, in lieu of flowers, please donate to, quote unquote, suicide veterans, unquote. Or something to do with helping those who are vets and suicidal. So me, I decide to give his one son, Sean, a call. Why not, right? LOL. I wanted desperately to give my condolences and also ask why JJ's only sister, his Aunt Teresa, didn't donate to the Suicide Veteran Fund. So there I sit with his phone number. I make the call and then I hear, oh shit, she's really calling him. I dial the number and guess what? The line goes dead. 2 examples with many, many more. Like, when I would try to call out and couldn't unless I stood next to my husband, or I would record the call with another cell phone. This is yet another example, just like the calls not reaching you, which happened to me regarding some personal things I'd rather not post on here that had to do with financials and medical information. I'll end here. Then send the real estate mobbing. If you think this is pathetic, wait until you hear that one. My God, these people care of nothing and no one other than the sex traffic lights that this truly is between gangs, LCN, mafia, the police, sergeant, sheriff, unalived sheriffs, kids, all who rub elbows with each other. The hits, physical on our lives, the grapes, I'll say, the grapes, from a teen along with her well-aged biker grandmom and mother. There's nothing more important than their sticky fingers and crimes. I have to add in their little weenies. Their little Twinkies, okay? And the dollars they generate from it. They care of no one, not even their own, and they will do anything in hope to please and gain some clout amongst their quote-unquote team. Bye for now and God bless. These pigs know what they do. Psychopathy may run in their veins, but they're surrounded by sociopaths to make their kids just like them. And they brainwash them in utero and out with coke, meth, heroin, PCP, weed, and the likes, and then introduce them to the world of crime daily, so it seems natural and normal. Well, thank you so much for this detailed and humorous testimony on how you experience phone surveillance. I really appreciate it. I'm sure the subscribers will think it's hilarious. Well, hilarious. And listen, we have to make light in some way of our horrendous situation. But, these people, they're not that bright, and they give themselves away every day. And on that note, please remember to hit the thumbs up. Helps the channel grow, get the message out there. These testimonies are priceless.